Hello and welcome to another gameplay review on the Virkayu gameplay channel. And your eyes did not deceive you. Right here on stream, we have discovered Deprivato in Aurelion Soul one-trick, playing Aurelion Soul jungle in Master Tier. Now, most of you know, as most of you enjoyed the Tarek jungle video, I love me some spicy and random picks. And if that was outrageous, this is giga outrageous. Even more so. He doesn't have gems, but he creates stars and fires it at Targon before getting captured mysteriously. Now, for some strange reason, we have an invade by the blue team that actually goes against our hero over here, making sure that he has his Q available for super stuns, and obviously the W is a permanent DPS field. Again, I don't understand this meta of late invades, of early invades, but you know what? We roll with it. Double kill for Jhin. This game is not going to be a snowball, ladies and gentlemen, and our jungler is dead. So, for those of you who happen to be junglers who die early as your buff is spawning, this will show you some great techniques to play. In addition to that, also what happens when you're an off-meta pick, which makes things really more difficult. Now, we're most likely not going to get the best leash on Earth, but the game does go to 32 minutes, but he does have a high % kill participation. Let's see how we move. W for the stun, very good. Kiting with your stars, of course they go anti-clockwise as we're viewing it, which means you need to be able to kite that and kite the monsters into the destructive fears of doom. And this is, interestingly, significantly better than I have ever imagined. That was just simply a Q with a his W. Well, not W, but passive, I guess, the stars. Now we do have E, obviously, and we have Q. So the level 2 cheese. The level 2 cheese, it's even better than we imagined, ladies and gentlemen. Flash burn from Jinx. That's a cross-side Q. We'll give him a forgiveness for that one. The hook does miss. So, what we're looking at, and I will maybe break this down another time on my main channel, early ganking with the E, very, very valuable. So if you can't clear very well, then doing some things like this can be very, very useful for you. Now, we move back onto the Grump here, and this is the camp that can provide a lot of issues for off-meta junglers because it's so inherently tanky and you don't have the sustain to be able to eat it. Now, you see how he's moving around the Grump, okay, in a clockwise manner so that the anti-clockwise spheres manage to hit as frequently as possible. We're going to use our Q whenever it's up to stun it and to keep going, and that's how we kite. That was abysmal and tragic. That's why we do level 2 clears. In the meantime, by the same amount, we have a Sion jungle on the enemy team. This is a bit more viable by far. We are now level 2, and he's going back for another spam gank. So obviously, we are not interested in farming. We're interested in activity. Sion shows up with that early scanner. Okay, Seraphine is prime mid lane. So Sion trying a bit of an aggressive move. I don't know why. What is this fiesta? Hey, I'm here for it. It's good. We just had a Shyvana video that would have been uploaded that isn't currently uploaded at the time of recording. We have the Seraphine out of position to the passive, and Karma gets a kill back. 3-3. Same gold. Wow. Now, most of you, I'm going to mute those alerts so you guys don't have to watch it on YouTube. Most of you will know very much so that when you're in low elo, when you're in a lesser elo game, how many times does this happen to you where you kind of want to farm, yet everyone is fighting, rotating, just not really paying attention to the map? But then you go and watch a Korean game and it's the same kind of thing, but it's much more measured, right? There's no sort of randomness to it. It's Fiesta, but there's no such randomness to it. How do you navigate as a jungler in that scenario? Off-meta junglers do one thing very, very well. They bring forth a level of randomness and uncertainty and the unknown into a game. That's where we win. No one knows what a Zyra jungle's gonna do, what an Ornn jungle's gonna do. Very few people understand Sion's clear speed, Aurelion Soul's clear speed. And as we go here, we don't have a very good clear speed. But we can gank and rotate. E is up, mega bing chilling, wait for that move back, very nice Q into chain CC with the Riven. Now we're moving, making sure that his W's hits as much as possible. That was a very good gank. And just as a quick point, you know, I know you guys don't always like it when I do this. Look at his positioning here. You see? You see where he's sitting? Outside of vision control, which means you can actually really hover very well without people seeing you necessarily, okay? Obviously, with the Aurelion Soul, we've got the memes of sitting in bushes and the stars going around and everyone can see it, but more so like a general pathing principle there is very good for you. So obviously, and I don't know if this is a tendency of the player, but it will 100% be necessary. You're not looking to full clear it and relax. In the meantime, Jinx has 2 assists, Rakan is escaping, bot lane is 1-0-2, that's fine. Sion is 122 with his pickaxe. Excuse me, full on damage gaming, because that's apparently all they can do now. We fall back to the red side here. This isn't so bad, actually. Now, it's slow, but you're not losing as much HP as one might think. Let's observe the Krugs. No smite. Will we attack? We wait for the Q, and now we use a W, max range, to kite it out. Wait for that to fall back down. I remember the old days when we could just toggle it ourselves, but this is the reality we live in. Making sure that passive hits as frequently as possible, and that happens to the best of us. But using that as a kiting tool and using the Q as much as possible. The AoE regen from the spells, as well as the Ember's Knife, sorry, Hailblade, it's not Ember's Knife, is massive. All right, so that's good, right? We got 1400. We had level 2 gank bottom lane. We had some invade stuff, but we died. Here's Sion. Okay, level 5 in comparison. So you can see 35 to 24, despite being a little less active. Did a Sion just try and Q a Rakan? Happens. Rough champion. I don't like Rakan. Way too mobile. But I'm just going to look at this beautiful chroma. Very nice. Regardless, he is spamming this, so you can go have a look. There's multiple other games. It's not working too well, but in this game we had high KP with good presence on the map. Now here we can use our E from outside the Gromp camp, which is a good thing, a good metric. We're making this a huge mega... Look at that counter gank. Oh my goodness, that was disgusting. Woo! That was beautiful. Beautiful counter gank. Please save us from the AD Zion Zombie, thank you very much, and we live. Oh, chef's kiss, exquisite counter gank, making sure we channel that E from here outside the wall all the way to the bottom lane counter gank with a gigantic Q star, boom. And that's exactly what you want to do with it. And if you're not looking and tracking through counter ganking like that, you're not playing right. Off meta junglers, you have to be able to track, you have to be able to counter gank, you have to understand who you want to run into the river with and who you do not. Notice how he is avoided, in general, just waltzing into the river and counter jungling. The impact here is surprising laners with unique angles, but that was exquisite. Reset, get your last chapter, because obviously the mana regeneration is huge. Use your Q there, press W, kite it out. Same thing with Kai'Sa, right? Same thing with Kai'Sa. With Kai'Sa, when you're pressing Q, obviously, you can't auto attack, so you might as well Q and E at the same time, so you're getting 2 spells off, right? And you're maximizing your kiting, that's what we want. We need Dragon Shout Fude Ra. We're just waiting for that level 6 for that. Any Skyrim enjoys. I can't wait till it's released on the iPhone or any other digital device that we have. I was gonna go with a number, but then I forgot we're on like iPhone 1000 anyway. So it will be probably on our watches soon. If you have a digital watch, Skyrim will probably be on that very soon. And if it is, then that's scary. In the meantime, obviously we want 6, so priority is on that now. Don't go ganking here. Definitely do not go ganking here. The Sion will outfarm you and outscale you, so it's important that we clear a whole quadrant now that we can with our itemization, get that level 6, and now we can go looking for some juicy stuff. Riven roams top lane because we created that prior. We use a Q, force a flash. A true astrophysicist is this player. I can tell. I can tell. This guy can calculate the age of the universe, and could when he was 4 years old. I guarantee you. He knows all the angles, in all the derivations, in all the timelines, in all the universes. Alright? His world line is the greatest we've ever seen. Alright. We go to the bottom lane. Sion does some stuff. Nothing we can do. Then I'm moving to Dragon. Karma obviously was killed. Why is the Thresh here? Wait, hold on. I'm missing things. We don't want to trap when it's warded. Fude Ra is used as a disengage. Remember, you can't do that as a thing. Seraphine hits a beautiful ult from the roam because we killed the Karma, so that's nice. And Sion dies for the overcommit. And this, ladies and gentlemen, this is the issue. Let me rewind for you because obviously we didn't really see that fully unfold. If you're the blue team, okay, this is the issue as an off-meta jungler. You don't have the same dragon killing power. So you feel the need more so to protect that entire phase of the game, you know? Like if I'm a Zyra and Ornn, yeah, can I do it? But it takes me so long, I get very low, it's risky. You need your team with you, but even so, you don't have a lot of damage, so you really want to force fights to try and make sure it's free. In this situation, again, it catches them out purely because of that. Sion dies, which means they cannot do it. Aurelion Soul's not interested in that. 217, 9 out of 10 KP. We move. What a beautiful back. Oh, I'm playing this tonight. I'm playing this tonight. Oh man, I have whiskey night every Saturday. Drink a good old 21 single malt. I'm playing Aurelion Soul this weekend, I guarantee you. Out of base, we have obviously the jungle boots. That's what they are. Seraphine's now pushing mid lane. Our bot lane is kind of fed, but 106 yin. The kills are all... Oh, wait, no, what's going on here? 106 Rakan, 312 Jin. Apologies for anyone who didn't like that. So the clear speed is amped up quite substantially. We're pretty much full HP. And the relentless out of combat movement speed comes forth. Okay. Here we go. Tuck in your limbs. Put your seats into an upright position. Strap in. We're going on a ride. Activate W for max range. Hit the Q to a stun. We fall back down for a passive because it's minimal range. Sign counter ganks. Make sure you go sideways to dodge the Q. Very good. Don't want to get slowed. Don't want to get knocked up. Use your Q again, keeping max range. The Q goes sideways again, but that's absolutely fine. Akali now is going in and doing what we would call as only absolute, disgusting, degenerate, unethical. This is unethical. Now, fortunately, this is pre-patch, which means the chem tank will still work. Thank you, Riven, for the free assist. But yeah, man, the tank Akali. Disease. That champion always finds a way to ruin fun. Either way, at least it's being nerfed. Out of base, because we did that, we have Kindle Gem. We're going into Everfrost, because obviously Chain CC to create kiting range. We'll make sure we're maximizing the spheres of Doom and Gloom. TP mid lane, Red is up, Krugs are up, Herald is up. This isn't about the objective life, right? You're about the lane impacting life. Even a Sion jungle is super out farming you. So if you don't understand how to use Aurelion Soul's angles of approach from the E, like here, you're not going to have a lot of fun because you need to be able to make moves while the enemy jungle is farming and while they're not being able to do anything. So the root misses from the Jhin, and we're going in here. Here we go. Okay, here we go. This could be a little deep. All right, we do a Fude Ra. We get hooked. We hit the Q. We hit it, and she dies. Beautifully done. Sion's on the top side there being zoned. Keeping our range, Jhin ults. Nice counter gank. I mean, again, I told you, it's counter ganked, it's keeping your space, and that's where Everfrost comes in. Autoing, moving, making sure that those counterclockwise stars are always hitting. Seraphine rotates. We still die to the zombie, because AD. Unfortunate. Ugh. Nice ult by Seraphine, nice cleanup, nice root. I mean, they really so played that like you would a Warwick, right? Like you would a Kayn, like you would any sort of counter ganking meaty jungler, because you got a lot of HP there. Rotates down, just segments their entire team comp. Zion's away from his, and you're just basically killing people. You just drag and shout them to death. Fantastic. So it's not about the kills, ladies and gentlemen. It's not about the kills. It's about the impact. It's about the impact. Now, we are 14 out of 16 KP, which we all expect. Akali is diseased. Riven is doing what our top laners always do when we get them fed and going where she shouldn't go and dying. I don't know. If Sion is ganking bot lane and takes all his camps and we see it, where's he gonna go next? Okay. Obviously in this situation, she's just trying to get deep vision control. He's really not interested whatsoever in contesting this side of the map. All right. He's not interested in it because your top lane is dead. Your mid laner is in base. You can't go here without dying. So even if you want the Herald, just forego it. Ideally, we want to do the dragon, but again, inherent risk. So the nice playstyle, nice way how this comes together in a nice way is that, well, that wasn't nice, is that you can kind of prevent them taking objectives, but you can also basically just stall the game, right? You're just permanently stalling the objective part of the game. So the enemy team isn't really getting huge leads by taking the objective because you're permanently putting pressure on, giving numbers advantages, and they're not able to. But now we have a whole team. Karma's mid lane. They get pushed out of the jungle here. Moving down to your dragon, smite it, get flayed over the wall because Thresh is the original 200 years. Rakan says, haha, it says, oh no. Sion just full commits. He just absolutely full sends. He Max Verstappen full sent that, trust me on that one. Ult again to disengage, very nice by Seraphine. Over the wall, we can fight. Use your W appropriately. Unfortunately, Karma Q does dissolve the bird into a pile of feathers and bird shit, and the rest of the team are able to leave. Man, this is such a weird, freaky game. I wish I was in it. Don't you? Don't you wish you were in this game? It's fun. Now, from there, back into the jungle. Now, remember, very important thing to note. Riven has given up on life because she had to play against tank Akali for 2 minutes, and, you know, kudos to her for surviving that long. Everyone is low here. Riven is proxy. Again, let's go. We don't have a lot of mana left. We do have some cash monies in the pocket, 1286. Riven is, of course, the good design with Gorge Rinker and Conqueror. Let's see what we can do here. We're moving with that Q. That's a big Q, but let's not overcommit. Seraphine does rotate. That's fine. So Akali gets the first turret, but we're able to infuse a little bit into our Jhin. Good. I think here you got to be very, very cautious, okay? When you're playing jungle and you don't really know the concept of full sequencing, of maximizing experience, of slingshotting experience, these kind of rotational plays are absolutely huge because a filled jungler, let's just watch this. Let me finish that thought afterwards. So Science still here, the very low. Akali's TPing in, gets rooted by Seraphine. Again, here comes our friend with a blue buff now, so we can regenerate a little bit. Will it matter? Unknown. Oh, man. Okay, rooted, damaged, stunned, ulted. Gotta be careful there. You do not want to give Jinx stuff. Okay, that was a little dangerous. Now, I said I would finish my point, but as usual, the brain goes from point to point and I never understand things. Anyway, if you're not a full-on jungler, and you get, maybe you're a regular jungler and you're against a fill jungler, how many times will the fill jungler just maybe have a bit more impact early and it gets you a little bit annoyed? It's because they don't really know how to sequence. They just go and gank because that's what they know. And it works very well when you're playing this kind of stuff because no one expects it, right? No one expects it. But if you farm well and you track him well and you're able to actually cut him off, you can very easily defeat this kind of playstyle. It just requires you to be a bit more heads up about it. Because the Science been farming, but the Aurelion Soul's just been rotating to every fight. And here it's good. You just don't want to overcommit and die. So here's good to not do that. Now we have Blasting Wand and an Amp Tome. So that's the next. E-Truth has arrived. CC, combine, no. Ult in 12. W doesn't really hit. Akali misses, doesn't really matter. We go very close range to make sure that minimum range hits. Q throws, hits, nothing. Riven, thank you. Oh my god, that is so much work. That is so much work. But again, nice gank. You can do this on any jungle, obviously. It's just standard stuff. We do want 11 before we ideally ult again, although I don't think that will be realistic. We're using the Everfrost to farm to kite. That's great. Our bot lane is pushing mid lane. We're only up 2,000 gold. Thresh rotates with a shield. Jinx throws down the traps. Yeah, we're not looking to do too much here because Riven's going to reset and we have Prestige Teleport activation from the Akali. So she's up. It won't be up just yet, but we do have to be mindful that it will be up soon. If you're in a high elo game, please track that kind of stuff. Type it in chat. Sion goes full send. Seraphine ults and hits everyone. Aurelion Sol is rotated from the top side. You would have seen that on the minimap. Beautiful again. And if you didn't see the Aurelion Sol coming because you were focused on what's happening on the map, then that's exactly the point I'm trying to make. Kali was dead and comes out of base. Riven has Ignite, so. Oh no. Come on, Jhin. Come on, Jhin. Come on, Jhin. Thank you, Jhin. So if you saw this fight from the ult from the Sion, and we're all vacuuming our eyesight into this moment, like, wait, where did the Aurelion Sol come from? Good. Because that's the blue team. That's a mid-elo game. That's a diamond game. They just don't see it coming. They don't think about it. And you're just in there so quickly because of that E. Nice counter gank once more. That's a specialty. Right. Pink Dragon rises again. 5-1-15, 23 kills, 20 out of 23. You do not have a lot of CS. So, very clearly, if you're a farming jungler, this won't work for you. Sorry. You need to be one of those active, tracking, counter-jungling monsters that understands the limitations of this champion. Again, Everfrost to kite, Q to stun, make sure we're hitting our W toggle, well, button press now. They are going to be reworking him to a certain degree, so this dragon's pretty good this game. It's not just because Akali is going 300,000 HP. They also have a Thresh, who's a little bit more tanky than you think, and obviously the Sion and the Akali. We should not be getting hooked here. This is a gross error and miscalculation. Don't be there whatsoever, please. Just don't. The dragon's available. You don't want to start it, but you don't want to force a fight yet. Akali is top side. Here we go. See, here it comes. Yeah, that's just bad positioning. Happens to the best of us, though. Happens to the best of us, but please, I don't care if you're a meta jungler. Just don't be in that. Just don't be in that situation. Careful now, lads. Careful now. Don't feed them any more than we need to. I always say that, and then Riven just kills everyone every single time, man. Riven's like the a really weird champion for me. Whenever there's a gameplay, I'm like, and then she just heals and kills everyone. And then everyone realizes why she gets nerfed. That one missed though. Karma slow, Thresh hook, now she dies. Okay, so that mistake is pretty grave. We're only up 2k gold now. Akali is going to become a bit of a menace in the mid lane. Gets stunned, Everfrost misses, that's unfortunate. That Everfrost hits, we might be able to actually kill her, but nah, who we're kidding? Who we're kidding? Never was going to happen. You are a little bit more utility based. Again, a bit of an overcommit. We know they're on the blue side jungle. Try and keep your distance as best you can. I love watching Aurelion Sol go back and forth. That R puts you in direct placing for your Q, so you can always make sure you know that combo. I would like to have seen a bit more farming from this, but it is interesting nonetheless. Now, the Rylai's is a classic Aurelion Sol item because of the slows. So those of us who were here for the patch note rundown on stream know that this is going from 3,000 to 2,600, and that AP is going from 90 to 75, and the HP is going from 350 to 400. So that will be more affordable on a low econ jungler like Aurelion Sol, and very useful for him, which is great because there's the meta cohesion with the patch and the jungle. But it's a bit of a nerf to this because once you have this item plus Everfrost, it's a really nice 2-item spike. I know people do like to rush and historically have rushed Leandries and so on, but the utility of Everfrost, the tankiness of it is just too good. A lot of HP on the dude now. What are we at? 2,100 almost. Okay. We take the crab, we take the blue. In terms of sequencing, not the best, obviously. You could just go all of this and then the crab, especially if you know they're all dead and they're not there. If you're concerned about it, you could always take it in full back. If the bottom lane is being pushed by the enemy team, make sure you can hold, just don't die. This is the same for any jungle, nothing's changed. And therein is the point about off-meta junglers. You want to play the jungle in such a way that you get away from being the jungler as soon as possible. Because now we've reached the mid-game, you're no longer the jungler. You're just a dude on the team who happened to farm and get fed by playing jungle. But it doesn't really matter in that sense, you know? Phase rush is also very important. We haven't talked a lot about it, but it's very important because it allows you to create distance. And when people are really diving onto you, you need to. I don't know if I would have wasted it there. A little bit of frustration, maybe. A little bit of frustration, maybe. But we just don't want to die in that situation. So you get to the mid-game, the late game, the fact that you were the jungle Sol, the jungle Zyra, the jungle whatever, you're playing Taric is irrelevant. You're just a team comp now. So that's the moment we're trying to get to, and as soon as possible. With a bit more farm would have been nice, but as you can see, if you're a little slow on the farm up front versus the enemy jungler, if you can catch waves, if you can catch quadrants during downtime, you can bring that up pretty quickly, especially now that we've got 2 items plus this, which means we're going into going into Shadow Flame for some penetration and more HPs, because shield, shield, shield. Dynamic atomization, ladies and gentlemen, please. Just like the Carthus video on the main channel. Squishy team versus assassins. I'm gonna go Red Smite, Exhaust, Ludens, Shadow Flame, and now I do true damage. Thumbs up. So make sure you're focusing very intensely, even when you're on off meta, on dynamic atomization. Okay, Raptors are not up, we're waiting for that. Bit of a downtime here. Your team is going back to base. This is the same as normal. Very weird though, isn't it? It's definitely a high risk. It's a high risk endeavor, this. But I would dare say it's fun if you can track. And it can work against a meta jungler the same, but you have to be able to track. And you know, we had a slow start because of that invade. We just level 2 ganked anyway. You know, it wasn't like it was the most giga-fed start for us, so we had to play around that as well. But normally you can still look for those level 2s with E. It's a very interesting strategy, actually. Because you can come from just the weirdest angles. Some of y'all got dirty minds. Anyway, we go back to the mid lane, and we have 4 top lane chasing the Seraphine. Who the hell knows why? Push mid lane, always. Take the tower now. They're gonna come from down here, so we're gonna kite down. There's a dragon. Make sure we take this. Do not overgreed for it. Karma's still top lane. Push, 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 and detach. Clear the vision control. T becomes 4th. You might not see that on your screen, but always keep your eye out by staring. See if you can catch it. You might be collapsed on here because the Seraphine isn't available. Okay. Over the wall gaming. Absolutely beautiful. Another Q. Again, look at the back line. Look at him in the back line. Kali's there. We're killing this. Over the wall. Stunning stuff. Absolutely stunning stuff. Now Akali's backline diving, but so are we. Excellent. Nice team fight. TP Seraphine, let's go. That's an El Baron. Make sure if Akali shows, you just kill her, by the way, but this is absolutely free. Great positioning, all game. Great counter ganks, multiple Q stuns, excellent uses of ultimate. He's just a champion on the Rift who likes to farm through jungle. He is the roaming Aurelion Soul. He is the original Aurelion Soul. Jinx ult coming full. Make sure you smite it if you have it. Or don't. But do. We will have another charge for the dragon anyway. Justice. Now here you do have to be very careful because bounties are activated and you all have a lot of gold. 2-4, 1-7, 800. You know, it's a decent amount. They've all gold reset now. So you still have a gold lead, but you don't have full spend. You don't have full HP, full mana. And yes, you've killed the Akali with that very nice stun and obviously W over the wall, but just be cautious here that you don't overcommit for another fight. You do want to reset here unless you're really, really far ahead. But I do recommend, as we discussed yesterday, a little bit, or in the last video with Shyvana, a little bit of caution. Okay, just a little bit of caution because, you know, we can fall back to our blue side. We can take the blue. We can take the grub. You can actually finish this quadrant if you want, or take the crab. Just don't stay out too long here. Okay, there you go. Don't stay out too long because now your whole team's joining the map and you don't want to finish wolves and be really disjointed from them because if you do that, they're going to fight, especially in low elo, mid elo, and diamond. They're going to fight 100% of diamond. And you're going to be in base, staring at yourself, imagining creating galaxies, and looking at how amazingly pink you are. Don't overstay. Make sure you go back to base, get your Shadow Flame, buy another Blasting One, and rejoin. Straight down. Now, we are not seeing a long-range Mega E Q-Bomb. I hope we do. We've already seen enough in this video, but maybe there's time for another one. We scan, probably misses it. I would clear it just because it gives them this reassurance. They know we are anyway, but clearing it is good. Seraphine's pushing the top lane with Aurelion Soul. Akali kills the Riven. Riven is uninstalling as we speak until the next patch because of the Akali tank build. Sion full on engages and full sends and hits it. Seraphine flashes into it. We're going to use Everfrost there to stun him. And Rakan is dancing around the back line. We're playing front to back right now. Jhin is ulting from a very good position. Okay, Reckless, nice gaming. And they're able to sustain and survive. Very good. And that's why this build is nice, because what are we at now? 2,600 HP. You don't exactly get melted, you know? But that was a funny flash to the Sion ultimate. No one dies, though. This is a game where no one dies. But at the same time, everyone dies. Oh! I missed it. That was just fun to look at. We needed some kind of epic opera piece to play. We need automatic music triggers, or I need someone to take over the gameplay channel to put that in. Not yet. We're not there yet. So Seraphine, we don't really care about. Akali shows up. We kind of know she's here, so this is a little bit once more no point. But it's the counter we didn't know existed. Huh. I'll take it. Comedy. Okay, Blinding Jewel for the penetration, because obviously penetration is very, very good when you've got Shadow Flame. Now, there's some mathematics behind Shadow Flame and Void stuff. In the case here, because there's, you know, very heavy tank Akali, because there's a very heavy tank Sion, Thresh has resistances, the combination there of Void plus Shadow Flame is very, very good, and you don't have Soul Boots either. So, immediately join again. Don't flirt with farming at this stage. Your team's pushing you based for that Blinding Jewel. We do want the Void stuff for maximum penetration onto the tank Akali and the Sion. And Riven's retreating. She doesn't have TP, so once more, again, back off. Standard stuff. Catch the wave. Push it. So you see where you can get your farm in the mid to the late game. If you're someone that struggles to get farm in the mid to the late game, even if you're an off-meta jungler who just farms slowly, right? Like Talon from next patch, 105%. Lol. Waves, my friends. Waves and counter jungling. Very, very big. Dragon is spawning. We don't quite have the soul. This would normally be soul point. But again, I don't think that's necessarily... I would like soul and elder versus their comp, but it's kind of risky. So now our team's here looking to fight for this dragon, and we want to go back to base to get that void. So this is a crucial item spike. We make sure we get it huge. Our team should know this, so we should ping them. There we go. And now we rotate directly. Okay? That's the only time it's okay. If you don't have an item spike, make sure you don't go back there. There's no reason to. There's no reason to. Just be with your team. We're gonna push mid a little bit. Okay, what this will do is create a bit of darkness. Where's Aurelion Soul? So the Akali is going to rotate just in case you push. When she sees you doesn't, she can push that wave. But because you did that, now you have numbers advantage and zoning control over the dragon. So it's very well played, actually. Don't always need to be in the team fight. You can just push the wave, force a rotation, off we go. Baron is up. That's the third dragon. Okay, this is a little bit risky because we know that we're there, but at the same time, I don't. Maybe it isn't. Move on up to the dragon. Sorry, giant worm or Aurelion Soul monster analog. Undecided. Akali is out of position, trying to contest the Baron. Gets stunned. Aurelion Soul is now going to spam from the side. Beautiful Seraphine ultimate. Here we go. Front to back once more. Diving in the backline is the Riven. And now the Aurelion Soul is just chasing down. Make sure he smites and chases the Karma. You see how he's playing like sideways? Quite often he's just playing sideways in the fights to make sure that the W hits. It makes it really awkward for people to team fight against. Well played. Very well played. You know, you're like here, you're drifting a bit. And your target selection is very important, but it's awkward for teams to kind of play at that angle, you know, when you're within Aurelion Soul. So, hey, definitely not a farmer. Definitely not something that's super viable. But if you happen to be a one trick, good flashes, well done, good win. And obviously we have that 3-1 AFK, but what can you do? You just gotta play the game in front of you. Make sure you are ganking well. Make sure you're trekking and counter ganking as best you can. Go for the high kill participation. Catch up and farm in the mid game. Itemize appropriately. That was fun. That was fun. Not the most viable like Tarek, but honestly, if you're someone who likes this really cheeky giga off meta stuff, these kind of playstyles can throw a lot of wrinkles into your low elo games, mid elo games, and you can honestly get quite a few climbs with it. I mean, he's playing some masters here, so how often are you going to be punished by a meta jungler in silver and diamond? Sometimes they just farm and forget you exist. Make them notice you. Thank you very much for watching. Please do like, share, and comment if you did enjoy and learn something. Don't forget to fill out the bootcamp survey, although this is quite late, so we'll have tickets going on sale very soon. Twitch streams every single week with a semi-regular schedule. Usually every Wednesday is 100%. Yeah, appreciate you all, and as always, I will see you all in the next tutorial with less dragons and fortune.